Let me guess. You're working hard, staying late, solving problems, putting out fires, answering every got a minute question, and yet your career in HR still feels stuck. Maybe you started to wonder, is this just what HR is? A lot of thankless tasks with no upward movement? If so, you're not alone. Drop a comment down below if this sounds like you. You know you're good at your job, but you don't know how others can see you as leadership material. I want to hear your story. I read every comment, so drop it down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, I invite you to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss any future videos that I drop about ways to elevate your HR career on purpose and with purpose. I'm Bryttani, Graddick, an HR leadership coach who grew my own HR career from intern to executive leadership, and I specialize in helping ambitious HR professionals just like you move from feeling stuck in your careers with no clarity whatsoever to feeling confident in your leadership role, in your leadership development process, to make sure you're able to position yourself for upward mobility in your career. I've been exactly where you are, spinning my wheels, doing all the things, and still not being noticed. But what changed my career trajectory was not more hours, was not a new certification, it was not a new degree. It was a shift in how I saw myself and how I made sure others saw me too. And that's what I want to help you to realize in this video. You don't need to quit HR, but you do need to stop doing HR the way you've been doing it. This is why HR feels like a dead-end job and what you need to do instead. First, you're doing the work, but not the right work. Most HR professionals who are stuck in mid-level roles are busy, but not strategic. So if you've got back-to-back meetings, if you're booked all the time, if you're putting out fires and being very reactive, that's not what's going to get you noticed. Impact and visibility matter more than busyness. I know firsthand how easy it is to let the day walk away from you, run away from you. And if you don't allow yourself to create boundaries for yourself, it's going to continue to happen. If you want different things, you've got to do different things, but where do you start? This is why I teach clients to stop letting the day-to-day priorities run them and to start choosing strategic priorities. That means making sure that the work you're doing is not feeling like a side project to yourself or anyone else. It's got to be aligned with what the business is going right now so that your visibility can be apparent. Reason number two, HR probably feels like a dead-end job for you right now. You're not telling the right story about your work. Being good at HR does not matter if no one sees it that way. You could be the best payroll processor. You could be the best benefits administrator. You could be the best employee relations specialist. But again, if what you're doing is not tied to what the business is focusing on right now, and if business can't see the dots being connected in the work that you're doing to the bigger picture, you're going to continue to be pigeonholed. If you're not translating your outcomes into business objectives, then leadership is not going to connect those dots. They'll think of you as just HR and not a key driver of organizational success. So here's what you want to do instead. Position yourself as a person who not only understands HR and does HR well, but also uses what you know to fuel results. Make sure that wherever the business is going, whatever the focus is right now, that you know how you can come alongside and make sure that you're able to help the business meet its objectives. So whether that is helping people to be successful, whether that is maybe meeting a training need, whether that is making sure that we're compliant as we work on this new merger or this new acquisition or things like that. But find ways to not stay stuck in where you are right now. Again, find ways to tie what you're working on to the overall business focuses. You need to position yourself as the person who not only understands HR and does HR well, but also knows how HR can fuel results. Ask yourself deep questions, not only what needs to be done, but who's impacted by this, and where are the resources needed for this, and why is this important? Figuring out ways to think about how you're working right now, but not just individually, not just focusing on the task, but what's the business focus? Think about all those things holistically to not get you stuck in a role that you don't want to be in. Speaking of doing the right work and telling the right stories, comment down below, what's one project that you led in the last 6 months that contributed to an organizational focus? And maybe people didn't really realize it. So this is the first step of rewriting your narrative and making sure people can understand the impact that you have. Drop that down below. Reason number three, HR probably feels like a dead-end job right now. You're waiting for permission to lead. Here's the truth. Promotions rarely come from just keeping your head down, doing your job well, and hoping someone notices. I believe you know that already, but hopefully hearing me say those words can confirm what your experience has already shown you. There's no magic line in the sand moment that you're going to say, at this moment, I knew I was a leader, or at this moment, I knew I was ready for leadership, or at this moment, I knew I was ready for a title change. HR professionals who are getting promoted right now are acting like the leaders before they have the official title. So here's what to do instead. If you're waiting to feel ready, then you're already behind. Whenever you do feel ready, it's likely a sign that you've been too late. So what you want to do right now is act like the leader that you know that you want to be. Think about ways to work more strategically. Think about ways to work more collaboratively. Think about ways to lead what you're working on, not just working on things right in front of you. Think about what's coming a few steps ahead. Think about how your work's impacting others around you. There are so many ways to lead without a title. I don't care about titles. We talked about this in a prior video. I don't care if your title is in people operations. I don't care if you are a people specialist. I don't care if you are the chief administrative officer, the chief operations officer, the chief people officer, the chief HR officer. I don't care about any of that. If the work you're doing is not forward looking and very proactive, you're going to be easily replaced by AI agents and all these other things that are coming into the mix right now, because your work is easily replicable. So you want to make sure that you are thinking ahead and not waiting on a title to lead, because if you wait for that title to lead, you might not get the opportunity to show what you think you can be. Reason number 4, you're building a career off default and not a plan. Many HR professionals, myself included, fell into HR without really understanding what HR was. And there is a segment of the HR population right now who is going to school and studying HR and desiring to be HR leaders, HR managers, HR directors. But whether you fell into your role or you desired this role initially, you're not going to grow on default. Without a clear roadmap, one built around your strengths, your goals, the business needs, it's going to be really difficult for you to get ahead. The opposite of having a clear roadmap is where you want to not be, being stuck and being reactive, stuck in that mundane, paper pushing, day in, day out, Groundhog Day feeling. So the opposite of that is to put your plan together, have a clear roadmap ahead, knowing what you want to accomplish and why. In my coaching program, one of the first lessons that we go over is creating a plan, a career plan just for you, not for me, not for a peer, but for you. Because being strategic is not just for the C-suite, it's for you as well. Getting out of that feeling of HR being a dead-end job, it takes work. But these 4 shifts I wanted you to make here today is just the beginning. If any of this resonated with you, then you'll want to get my free guide on how to elevate your HR career, the 10 steps to elevate your HR career as an ambitious HR professional. So comment down below with "Give me the guide," and I'll send you a direct link. But it's also linked down below if you want to grab that right now. You don't have to stay stuck, but you do need to stop waiting if you want to get out of this feeling. One of the best ways to reclaim how others see you is how you show up in leadership meetings. So watch this video next to learn what to say in your next HR 101, and I'll see you there.